afternoon. Welcome, welcome. Welcome.
Seems like high school was such a long time ago. It's only 3 years ago.
All right, wonderful. Wow, we have a lot of high school students here. I'm so excited that you guys are all here. My name is Elizabeth Kiefer. I'm a professor here at the University of Arkansas. I'm in the Information Systems Department. So I really want to be the first to welcome the high schoolers here today. We want to welcome everyone to our IT Executive Forum. I hope that's what you're here for, because if not, if you're here for a class, wrong spot. Okay, good. You guys are all here for the Executive Forum. This opportunity, it's hosted by our Information Technology Research Institute, our ITRI. What the ITRI is, just for you guys to know, is an outreach group here at the University of Arkansas. It is connected to the Information Systems Department in our Sam Walton College of Business. And what we're really hoping for today is this event's going to kind of give you, as students, as high school students, a rare opportunity to actually interact with some IT executives, some wonderful IT executives that have come to give their time to us today. We've got companies that are members of our ITRI advisory board, so that's who we're going to see here today. They're sitting up here. I'm going to have them introduce themselves here in a few minutes. But really kind of our hope for today is that you guys are going to get kind of a deeper insight into kind of various careers in the field of information technology. And the way that we're going to do that today, the big idea is that you guys get to ask questions of these wonderful executives. And they are going to have amazing, insightful answers for you. No pressure. No pressure at all. So the other fun thing about today is you're eligible for, not you guys, the students are eligible for door prizes. Did everybody have a raffle ticket? Yes. Students, raffle tickets? You're going to want those. Okay, keep those with you because throughout, we're gonna ask a couple of questions. We'll raffle off an amazing prize. I've seen sneak peeks. Very awesome. So we're gonna raffle off some prizes, we'll ask some more questions, and we'll just kind of do that for about the next 45, 50 minutes. And then we'll kind of wrap up the event. So let's start out. Before we get to introducing our executive board, let's start out with some of the high schools. Let's find out who's here. You guys are high school students, I know you know how to cheer. And I'm gonna do this differently. I'm gonna start from the bottom and go up, okay? So, do we have anybody from the Springdale IT Academy? Where you at? Right there in the back. Excellent, excellent. The Springdale IT Academy. Uh-oh, we're getting excited already. All right, this Southside B Branch School. There we go. Okay, spread out a little bit. How about Siloam Springs? There you go. Northside High. Whoa. There we go, right there, Northside.
Love the enthusiasm.
All right, what about Hall High School? Front and center, all right. There we go. How about Gravett? Do we have anybody from Gravett? Gravett in the back. How about Fayetteville High? Do we have anybody from Fayetteville? Got some of you guys in the back, excellent. Decatur. And Bentonville.
There it is.
Oh, we got some cheers up back here too. All right, did I miss any schools? Is there anybody here that I didn't call on? Because we want to make sure we represent everybody. So this is a really great group from all over the state. Thank you guys so, so much for being here. It's so polite too. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to introduce you to, and we'll give you a nice little, there we go, to our executives. So executives, if I could have you, we'll kind of start front and go in the back. Your name, your organization, kind of what you do, and if you could give them, a bunch of high schoolers, one piece of advice as a high school student, what would it be? Ooh,
I think I have to go first because I have the
Brandy's like,
microphone
"Oh,
in my
man,
hand.
you got the
I know,
mic,
no
you get to go."
pressure. You could have warned us. Okay. I am Brandy Mitchell. I work at Arvest Bank, and I report to the Chief Information Officer at Arvest. I'm an executive director in IT. I'm responsible for strategy and governance, which includes a whole bunch of these sort of administrative support functions required to make an IT shop run, including business continuity, program project management, financial and procurement management, all that kind of cool stuff. The service desk also reports to me. And as a high schooler, one piece of advice I would give you is please don't wait too long to start thinking about and owning your college career path, including making sure that you've taken all the right tests, making sure that you're talking to your counselor about jobs and opportunities, making sure that you're applying early for school. A couple of friends right now who I know were a little late to that game, didn't get to go where they wanted, didn't get that first opportunity when they were freshmen. So it's not too early to be thinking about that.
Excellent. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kent Watson. I'm with Matova. I'm the Vice President of Client Services. So Matova, we're founded in 2006. Half the company is federal cybersecurity. So we actually provide a cyber range to train the U.S. Army, Marine Corps, and Navy on how to defend from cyber attacks and how to go be on the offensive side too. We do some federal-based security as well. On the commercial side, we do a lot of application development, mostly mobile. So we built the first mobile version of Dropbox, Flixster, Yelp, eHarmony. We built the first Nook for Barnes & Noble. So we've done a lot of digital projects like that. So I support a lot of different Fortune 500s, and anytime they need an agile team to build mobile apps. Oh, and the one piece of advice I have for you is to learn to code.
There you go. Learn to code.
Yeah, that's right. Hi, my name is Linda VillasHill, and I'm with Walmart. I'm part of Walmart's technology organization called Walmart Labs. I'm a vice president looking after retail analytics and data science, and that's part of a global data and analytics platforms organization. Hopefully that means something to you. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit, but think big data and analytics on top of big data. I've been with the company about 9 years, and I've had career on the business side as well as on the technology side. So one of the pieces of advice that I would give you, in addition to it's never too early to learn to code, right, is to think about your first step into your career as only your first step. It's not your entire career. You get constantly learn. Be intellectually curious and give yourself the opportunity to think about where you can move throughout your career.
I'm Andrew Fano with Teradata. Teradata is a big data and analytics company. We started in a garage in 1979 making a massively parallel computer that just kept getting bigger and bigger. And the advice that I would give to you is to gain experience now. Opportunities like what you're experiencing here today and getting some real experience. There's hackathons, there's coding things that some of my colleagues here do as well. That experience will help you vet out what you really do want to do in college. I have 2 high school boys right now, and helping them discern where they want to go and what they want to do is a challenge. Getting experience and finding out what you love will make you much more happy later in life.
My name is Stan Zalewski, and I am a co-founder and president of a company called Movista, which is based in Bentonville, Arkansas. Go ahead, Bentonville, let it go. First, I'd like to tell you all that just like you, I went to high school. So I feel a little kindred spirit with all of you. Our company, Movista, it provides a digital platform for companies like retailers, manufacturers, who have dispersed workforces. It allows them to control those workforces and allows the workforces in the field to be highly capable, have the stuff they need to do their job, which is all pretty boring. But here's the deal. My advice to you is that I've found my passion, I found my place in life, and I'm just going to reiterate really what Andrew said, which is get out there and work and try different things and go to different places and learn and make yourself interesting, and don't put yourself into a box at the age that you are now. And I think the common theme from what we are sharing with you is that I don't think anyone on the stage, and probably 99.9% of people, knew when they were 16, 17, 18 years old what they were really going to do with the rest of their life. And so don't put too much pressure on yourself in that way. Just go out and try different things and learn, and stick your nose in places it doesn't belong, and say, I'd like to try this at work, and can I try that? But anyway, I know you're all going to be very successful, and thanks for coming today.
Hey, everybody. Hi, I'm Michael Palladino. I'm the co-founder and CTO at a software development shop up in Bentonville as well, called RevUnit. So we build custom software that helps enterprises workforces work better. It's a little different than what Stan does. We do sort of custom from the ground up builds, sort of on an as-needed basis. A lot of fun doing that. In terms of advice, I think I'm going to keep pulling on that same thread of sort of getting out, and I'm going to give you some very tactical homework to take away. When you get back home or now on your phones, hit up meetup.com and eventbrite.com and search for software development, programming, coding, any of those things. There are meetup groups happening wherever you are on a regular basis, on a Tuesday night, on a Thursday night, about Python or Ruby or .NET or any other number of languages. Get involved in those communities early. That will open up some of those doors that Andrew and Stan are talking about. Thank you.
So my name is Bob Dawes, and I'm the Director of IT Operations for Dillard Department Stores. So hopefully you all, being good Arkansans, know what Dillard's is. When I travel out of state, it's a little more difficult. So I run all of our data centers, I run all of our call centers, all of our endpoint services, and basically all of the components that people use day to day to do their jobs. One of the things, I guess I'm going to get a little bit more high level with the advice. It was one of the pieces of advice that my father gave to me that I actually followed. But find something that you love to do and get somebody to pay you to do that. Okay? And it's about following your passion, because if you're passionate about what you're doing, then you're going to be more productive and more successful no matter what it is.
Hi, my name is Angie Graves, and I'm with Axiom. Axiom is a data and analytics company that's been around quite a while, since before everything was digital. Now we are very much into the digital realm, obviously, focused primarily on marketing. At least traditionally, we've been focused on marketing, but we use our data for other purposes as well. So as you probably well know, data can be used for just about anything in the insights from the data. And within Axiom, I lead the program management group within one of our divisions called Audience Solutions. So I actually have a technical degree, but I represent a team that works kind of in the middle of between engineering and what the business side wants, which we call product. So one of the things you'll hear me probably talk about more later is all of the jobs and roles available in that realm, not necessarily purely technical, but not necessarily purely business either. It kind of takes both. And there's actually some really exciting things that can happen if your skill set fits in that space. My advice to you would be, don't be afraid to say you don't know, but then take the next step to ask the questions and to find out what it is you don't know. Because too often people will they feel like it's weak to show that maybe you're not the expert on something, but inside you're, terrified you're gonna be asked something else. Be the one that says, you know what, I don't quite get that. Can you explain it? Or go on the side and say, I really need to understand more about that. Just don't be afraid to be the one that does that.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Stovall. I'm a Senior Information Systems Director at JB Hunt Transport. Hopefully you know what JB Hunt is. Hopefully you've seen our trucks on the road, especially in the state of Arkansas. Nationwide transportation and logistics company. So my role there is applications architecture, so the development frameworks that we use for our in-house development projects, and internal applications infrastructure, so web servers and different things like that, as well as quality assurance for all of the development that takes place within our department. And so something that I shared with the college students yesterday, and I'll share the same advice to you all, is starting right now, always seek opportunities to get involved with groups of people that are different than you. Always seek diversity opportunities, learn how to interact in those situations, learn how to informally influence and lead in those situations, because those skill sets that you can be building right now in your high schools and especially in college will provide a tremendously valuable experience for you in the workplace, because you don't have control over the people you're going to be working with for the most part. You will encounter very diverse situations. You'll encounter people that have different motivations and different interests than you. So learn how to thrive in that type of environment.
And good afternoon, I'm Brett Denton with ConocoPhillips, and ConocoPhillips is an oil and gas company. We're the largest independent exploration and production company here in the U.S. I lead the enterprise systems group software called SAP. We do the operations and logistics portions of that, which is out in the field, gathering data and information in, and also the supply chain aspects of that. My recommendation to you all, there's lots of good ones up here, but is just to not be afraid of change and not be afraid of technology. So even in my short career, I've seen technology change a number of times, and the folks that do well are those that are able to adapt and don't get stuck on a specific technology or in a specific area. So just be open to change and be willing to adapt with the new technologies.
Thank you guys so much for that introduction. And now that you know who's going to be talking to you, do you guys have questions? Who's going to be the first one? There we go, right there. As we have some wonderful gentlemen. Oh, there we go. We're going to throw the mic around. So there should be a microphone so you can talk into it so we can hear what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah, right in there.
This is a microphone. Oh,
okay. We like to have some fun.
Okay. This is like a sort of question for each one of you. Like, did you already know what you wanted to do? And if so, like, when did you know? If you did?
So I'll start out here. No, I didn't know. Other than becoming an MIS major, wasn't sure if I wanted to be a coder or get into more of a business-facing role, and actually have done both. So just being kind of, as I mentioned, being adaptable, flexible as far as where you go, I found it worked wonders for my career.
My kid just found a paper that I did in the 10th grade, and I said I either wanted to be a stand-up comedian or a professional wrestler. I'm both.
So I'll add on real quick to that. I don't think you ever become anything, especially in IT, but probably in anything. You know what I'm saying? You may not exactly know where your career is going to go, but at any point, you might ask us this same question in 5 or 10 years, and we might be in a completely different capacity by then. So you never stop evolving.
That was kind of the point that I made earlier as well, is be flexible. So I actually was a music major in college. And I went to graduate school and became an economist. And I worked for years as an econometrician, and on the front end of that was always coding in order to do my work, which is how I ended up where I am today. So there's a golden thread when you pull it through after 20-some years of my career. But it was always about following my passion.
So one of the things that I'd follow up to what I put out as my advice, what I discovered I loved is I love learning about technology. And so when I was growing up, in high school was the advent of really technology affecting the person and the individuals in the business more than just the corporate office. And so what I decided to do is I wanted to be the guy that would go determine what technology could best help a business. And when I went to school, I intentionally also got a business degree so that I didn't just work in the IT field. I would be the one that would go find the best technology to help the business succeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Now, who wants to be? Does anybody else want to? You good? All right. Who wants to be our next question asker? Okay, so we've got, if you want to go to the one back there, and we got one up here. And we'll get you next. Oh, so we've got 3. We're getting excited now.
Hello. What do you think the place of simulations is going to be in future business? For instance, like virtual reality and stuff like that.
Whoever wants to, you guys can just pass it along. Whoever wants to answer that one.
So there's, I think, two big aspects to that. One's virtual augmented reality, and one is a level of AI and automation. And I think in more and more, we're going to see an intersection in those. Not to get anyone worried about the Terminator movies and stuff like that. But when you get into some of the things like that Linda works in advanced analytics, automating those processes, what we call AI, and taking those things and augmenting reality with that is potentially where a lot of the business is driving today. So the simulations part of it is absolutely there. There's things that you'll find in warehousing where they are augmenting reality with glass today. So those types of simulations, there's training with large retailers that are done with simulations today. There is actual shopping and makeup apps and wardrobe apps that include simulation today. So it's absolutely affecting our economy. And the smarter that we can make that and more autonomous we can make that, the better it'll be. So it's absolutely a huge driving force today.
I'll share a quick practical example of where augmented reality could potentially play a role. Of course, at JB Hunt, we have a lot of trucks, right? A lot of tractors. And we have a large maintenance group that works on those tractors all day, every day. And I saw a prototype of augmented reality where we put glasses on, and the techs that work on those trucks could actually see one of the brand new engines that was coming in a new model of tractor. Every element of it. They could grab it and expand it and see every part explode. They could spin it around and see the parts from different angles. It helped them visualize in their mind what's going on in that engine when they're hearing a knock or when something starts smoking. And so that just gives you some example of how that type of technology could be used in a practical setting.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you guys so much. How about if we take a quick little break and do a door prize? Are you guys okay with that? How about if we do a door prize? Okay. All right, so who are we going to start with? Oh, we're going to start at the front. All right, so Mrs. Mitchell from Arvest. Get your raffle tickets out.
Oh, there we go. The choice is made. Okay, are we ready? 396685. 396685.
All right, if it's you, get excited, get up, let us know where you are. There it is.
Right back there.
Hey, come on down, come on down.
I'll meet you over here. I'm going to give you the mic. I need you to tell us your name, what school you're from, and what you came here to do today.
My name is Colby Franklin. I go to Fayetteville High School, and I just want to learn more about technology, for the most part of it.
That's really bad for you. I have no idea what's in that bag. Not good enough, Mike.
Check. There, that's louder. All right. 2 numbers. This is one deal. It's a package. All right. No good. All right. 396588. All right.
You want to go up there?
So can I ask you your name, where you're from, and why you're here today?
I'm Nick Smith. I'm from Hall, and I came here to learn about careers I can go into the field of technology.
Awesome. So this is a Raspberry Pi starter kit with a case, power supply, memory, and a science kit. So you've got motors, LCD screens, LEDs. So what you should do is go build something with us and show me your invention.
Let's do one more.
I love this.
Did they use it?
Yeah, we've had 2 people use it so far.
Oh, it's deep.
This one's kind of loud.
All right, here you go. 39 396675. 396675.
See, with this, you get to bring in athletics and academics.
Yeah, I know. You got a nice little toss.
Your name, your school.
I'm Luke Faupel. I go to Fayetteville High School, and I'm here because I like coding.
We'll wait till they get done.
Good answer. There you go. Congratulations.
All right, okay, so now you're gonna have to put those raffle tickets away. We'll come back to it in a minute. But I saw a lot of hands up, kind of, so let's see. If you have a question, go ahead and put your hand up. We'll get one of these guys to come, and we're just gonna kind of work our way around the rooms. All right, so we're gonna start with the back, and then we've got this guy in the front next. So let's start in the back.
Okay, so it works. My question was, so in terms of programming languages, which would you say would be the most efficient for the up-and-coming business and programming world? Like, or is it just really depend on what kind of field you're going into?
You're going to have a lot of answers to this question.
Awesome.
My answer is pick one. There is value in learning how syntax, how things are put together, if-then statements. You'll get that in any language that you pick up. Pick one that you like and that builds cool stuff, but my answer is pick one.
Let me ask you a counter question. What are you interested in doing with programming?
I plan to become a computer engineer, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be important somewhere. So whether that be like systems administration or whatever, I mean, you know.
All right, so there's a landscape. So you could go learn C++ and write an operating system. You could go work for Google, Intel, Apple, Microsoft, Dell. I mean, a lot of the hardcore engineering jobs are around C++. It's kind of the hardest language to master. A lot of the companies on stage are going to need C# or Java. That's going to be primary. If you get into data analytics, you would want to learn like Python. But once you take that to production scale, I might go into Scala or Java. So there's a few answers for you. If you're more interested in web development, it's about 4 different paths you could go there. So, you know, I would kind of hone in on what you want to do, then that would open you up to like 2 or 3 languages to hone in on.
I'm going to throw my opinion out there. I echo everything they say. There's a ton of different languages, but JavaScript is one of the fastest growing languages right now. If you're familiar with the space, JavaScript can now run on the server as well, and Node.js, different things like that. There's new JavaScript frameworks out on a regular basis. It's going to be more and more ubiquitous, continue just to grow, and it's spread. So.
It's more important that you learn how to think like a developer. It really is. So,
No, JavaScript.
So, Michael knows more about developing than I do, but I will say that what you all should realize that if we could get in a time machine and go back 10 years, the answers would probably be pretty different. So what does that tell you about by the time you get through college and get out of school and start to establish yourself as a professional? It's all going to change. So it's more important that you just get in there and you learn and you think through the statements and so forth. That would be my 2 cents.
Let me throw this out there. If you could build an Android app right now, I'd hire you tomorrow. So.
I'm looking for a job.
All right, you guys good on that one? All right. So I think we have a question up in the front. You got the mic? All right. So here's our next question, right here in the front.
Hello, my name is Jaron, and this is just a general question for anybody. I was wondering what challenges or obstacles have you all faced, like leading up to your careers, and how did you all like overcome them, or have they shaped you as a person today?
So first of all, I'm heavy, and that's hard, but
Wait a minute.
no, kidding about that. Listen, and I'll be serious for a second. All right. So I grew up in a single mom home, disadvantaged, trailer a lot of my life, sort of thing. And so the hardest thing for a lot of people, and there's people in here that this is gonna resonate with you, is just getting your mind around the fact that you can be successful, that it can be you, right? So I'm gonna tell y'all something you won't like, but my entire life, I've been an Alabama football fan. That's where I'm from, okay? Yeah, I know. But here's the thing, sorry about the excellence and all, but in all seriousness, do you know it never occurred to me that I could go to the University of Alabama? It just never even entered my mind. So I didn't. I went to Pensacola Junior College. I went to South Alabama. I went to Troy State. I got my 4-year degree in only 8 years, right? That's not good, in case y'all are doing the math majors in the room. But then as I got older and I got a job with a company, I started to get some self-esteem and started to understand, you know what, I'm okay. I can fit into this world. I can do things. Then when I came here and I got my MBA at the University of Arkansas, which I'm super proud of, it was easy. I already had my confidence built up and I did things. So, I would just share with you that a lot of you are going to have no support or little support. You're not going to have anybody around you who understands what you're trying to do or want to do. But you just have to have it inside you and ask yourself the question, why not me? Why not now? Somebody is going to be that thing that you aspire to be 10 or 15 years from now. Somebody is going to be. So why not you? Why can't it be you? Whatever it is, why can't it be you? So I don't know if that resonates with any of you. I'm sure it does with some of you, but sometimes it's just hard to get a start when you don't have a solid foundation to spring off of, and you kind of have to be your own foundation.
Does anyone want to follow that up?
But I'm from Alabama too, and I am the other big guy. But no, just to go back a little bit, when you talk about obstacles, the biggest thing is, and I think it echoes his theme, realize that you can be successful in different ways than you can even imagine right now. And so I guess some of the obstacles that I think about having overcome is really disappointment or frustration, or things didn't go the way I had planned. I had a 5-year plan when I started with my company. That didn't happen. Okay, I spent 20 years in development and now I'm running operations. But I love to learn and I feel like I've been successful, but I've been successful in vastly different ways than I ever would have imagined. So just keep at it and realize that you can be successful no matter how things, which direction you go.
So my question is, what do you love about coding or your job? What do you love about coding?
What do you love about coding? Is that the question?
So I'll jump in. So I started my career with a computer engineering degree from the university as a software engineer, okay? And my passion has always been creating things. I was the kid that had the humongous box of Legos in my floor at all times, right? From the time I was, 8 years old, until I graduated high school. And you can translate that same passion into the coding field. You're creating things, and sometimes you're creating them from scratch in greenfield development, or sometimes you're taking a creation of someone else and making it a lot better. Either way, you can get a tremendous amount of satisfaction for creating something, that you create in a, quote, lab environment, and then it goes and runs an entire multi-billion-dollar corporation. There is something tremendously satisfying in knowing that you create something, you had your hand in something that basically is a backbone of the nation's economy. For these companies that are on this stage, that is absolutely the case. So, you can take it and kind of put it into context in that way.
Anybody else love to code?
Well, I moved into management a few years ago, so I don't currently code, but I coded for 14 years. So the thing I loved about it the most was the problem solving. Sitting down with somebody, they had a very manual process, they couldn't connect with their customers correctly. Just really mapping out that problem, then building it, and then seeing it take a form of its own. There's a lot of reward. It's almost like building a building. You're like, hey, yeah, I built that. But then people want to modify it, and you can go work through those problems. So to me, it's just a challenge and opportunity to build something.
So I think it took me a little bit longer in my career to get to this point. I think early on, I loved the technology so much. It really was just about the building. What I get to see now is there are users on the other side of almost every piece of technology we build. And even if you're managing servers or something like that, there's a person somewhere whose life is better as a result, hopefully, as a result of the technology that you're building. Whether you're helping somebody work a little bit faster, whether you're helping them get to their clothing choices more quickly and maybe make recommendations they wouldn't see otherwise. You can use technology as a tool to help people. And that for me has been a major game changer in how I view technology. It's a tool to make a difference and help people live better.
All right. So go ahead and raise your hand. We're going to take another break. So go ahead and raise your hand so our microphone guys can come find some of you. And while they're coming to find some people, we're going to do another couple of door prizes. So get out those raffle tickets.
Yeah. After this, I do it, and then you can leave. Give me 1 minute.
All right, we have a fantabulous 7-inch tablet here with a gift receipt in case you don't like it. It also, if you are the fortunate winner, it has the unlock code. So people can't use the 5-finger discount to take them. You have to have a receipt with that. The last 4 numbers are 6640.
There we go in the back. There we go.
Shake up the numbers again. Shake them up.
Congratulations. Hey, why don't you tell everybody?
You seem like you have an important question to ask.
My name is Christian Rojas. I'm from Fayetteville High School. I'm here to learn about careers in technology.
Thank you.
So I was going to give away a trip for 2 to Hawaii, but I can't. They said I couldn't. I don't know why. But so instead, I've got a waterproof Bluetooth speaker right here. All right, all right. The last 4 digits are 6, 5, 4, 6. All right, all right, all right. Benville's in the house. You're a Benville man, right? All right, tell us about yourself.
My name's Andre, and I came to learn about cybersecurity.
All right, so somebody needs to talk about cybersecurity. There you go, Andre. Congratulations. All right.
What are you gonna ask him?
Is that the one?
No, I'm not going to ask him.
He just gonna recognize it.
All right. Okay. So we got last 4 digits, 6538. For a Google Home and a Google Chrome Press.
They don't.
That both sounded.
Congratulations. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Paula Ryburn. I'm from high school, and I just came here to learn about technology.
Congratulations.
All right, everyone. I have some Beats earbuds here. Beats earbuds. Get your tickets ready.
Pull my number.
Here we go. Last 4, 6604. 6604. Congratulations. Your phone tells your name, where you're from, and why you're here.
My name is Miguel Hernandez. I'm from the SHS IT Academy, and I came to learn about jobs in IT.
All right. Well, since everybody wants to learn about jobs in IT, let's get another question and see what we can learn.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is not a question. This is just a recognition from Hall High School. We have a former alum here as a computer engineering major, and his twin is a computer science major, and they both maintaining a 3.8. And I think you mentioned something, Ken, about building something. I'm sure both he and his brother can probably do what you are wanting to be done right now. So we just wanted to recognize that it does work.
You may want to consider being an agent, like a sports agent or something. That's nice. All you need is 10%, just 10%.
All right, so where are my microphones? Do we have one going on somewhere?
Hi, I got one.
Hi.
I
There
got
we
a
go.
question.
There we go. Right here from the front. It's right here
Okay,
from the
my
front.
question is for Axiom.
Axiom.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you said that it has things to do with marketing. Is it something like, what do you mean by marketing? Like multi-channel marketing, like advertising, stuff like that?
We'll go beyond multi-channel. We'll go to omni-channel marketing.
Oh,
Ooh, Axiom buzzword. No, so the easiest way to understand it is, and marketing and advertising, while not the same thing, I'm gonna just kind of consider it in one body of knowledge, okay? So if you, for example, really love expensive cars. Let's say you really love expensive cars. Okay. And maybe you don't own one yet, but you're getting close to where you might be able to buy a car. And so you spend all your time, reading about them, you're online, you're looking at the new models, you're comparing, et cetera, right? A company out there like Kia is probably, and no offense to Kia, I'm just saying, I don't think they would call themselves the luxury car market. They're not going to probably want to target you with very many advertising flyers at your house, right? Because you've established a pattern through probably where you visited and, transactions you've made of books or magazines or whatever. You've established an interest in something completely different from that. So that's just, I'm terrible at coming up with examples on the fly, but that's one, hopefully you get my point that you can use data, and you can use data about consumer behavior, self-reported when you fill out surveys or you enter sweepstakes, as well as just public data when you make, a transaction that becomes part of public record. It indicates things about you. And advertisers throughout the years have gotten smarter and smarter about where their dollars go. So they don't want to mail a flyer or send an email or an online ad to every single person out there, because there's only a small percentage of people that are more likely to act on whatever that particular advertisement is. So as much as possible, they come to companies like Axiom to use data to say, where are my most likely people? So I'm not wasting my dollars on people who have no interest in what I'm selling. Yeah. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. I have another question. This is for everybody though. When you entered into your field, did you ever think for a second, I don't like this, I need to leave?
And you can tell by head nods on that one.
So my story, whoever asked the question first about how'd you get there? I was not from a poor family, but nobody in my family on either side had ever gone to college. And my dad didn't see the value in it, right? So paid for my own school, paid for the loans afterward. My degree was in English and math secondary education. So I'm in Texas. I think I'm gonna be a school teacher when I get done. And I loved that idea. I loved school, right? That was a cool thing. But here's what happened. My senior year in college, when I had to actually go be a student teacher, loved the kids, loved teaching, loved everything about it. But for me, I felt a little bit trapped in that environment. I'm looking at the teachers around the room I'm so glad I recognized this early in my career. I couldn't go make a phone call when I wanted to. Can't go to a doctor's appointment when I need to. That felt very, very confining to me. Knew that was not gonna be a good idea. So maybe a lesson for me that you guys can learn, switch gears. I had been going to college. I was involved in campus activities, and we were doing stuff like college comedians coming on. comedians coming on site. We were doing bands and, you know, big acts on campus. And there was a guy who was my advisor while I was doing that in college. I was like, you know, he's got a kind of cool job. I'll figure out how to do that. Came to the University of Arkansas, had never been to Arkansas, period. Never met a soul before I moved here because the interview was on the phone with 7 other people on the other end of the line, interviewing me for a job to come to school at the University of Arkansas. So I came here to get a master's degree in higher education administration. So that means I want to be dean of students at a college someday, right? And this whole time, no need for kids, no need for a husband. I want to be an independent woman, want to do it all on my own, right? That was the plan. When I got done with, close to done with my master's degree, still had these plans. I'm going to move across the country somewhere to work as dean of students on some college or campus or somewhere. And then I met the guy. Okay. Didn't change my plan. I still wanted to have a career, but I knew that based on my career in higher education that there were some things about life and the job that I really liked. I loved leadership development. I loved helping other people do great things. And so I hired on at McElroy Bank at the time. It's now got an Arvest sign on the outside of it, but that's here in Fayetteville. It used to be called McElroy. And started in a management trainee position and then got my first job in the bank. I was a teller, by the way, terrible teller. Don't put money in my hands. I will get it wrong every single time. Hated it. Hated the work. Was like every possible mistake you can make, I was making. But again, that's checkpoint of, man, I don't like this, but is there something else I can do? Enter the training department at Arvest. Okay, wait, so my degree's in education. That seemed like a good fit. Got into the training department, got to know the IT people, got to be training on software and applications, and now I run about a third of the IT organization, all based on that career path and all based on knowing, ugh, I hate this, but I could do something else, right? You are gonna find stuff, okay, I'm just gonna tell you today, what we're working on at work today is the budget. Ugh, hate it, okay? Every single day in your life is not gonna be petals and roses. The job that you're gonna get is gonna be hard on some days. You're gonna not like it on some days, but you gotta stick in there and you gotta work really hard and you will make a career for yourself.
It just goes back to success in different ways than you expected.
All right. We're running a little bit low on time, so we're going to do a couple more drawings, and I know we've got a question in the back, and then we got a question here too.
All right,
so we're going to start back there. Well, first we're going to do some drawings. So get your raffle tickets back out.
This is an even more powerful Bluetooth wireless speaker, just so you know.
I think what you mean is inconveniently large.
It can go all day, man. This can go all day. All right.
I don't even think it works.
Last four. 6586. 6586.
Come on down, hurry. We're close on time here.
Run.
We got another one coming up.
All right. You know the drill. Name, where you're from, why you're here.
My name is Ryan Smith. I'm from Northside High School and just came to learn about some career opportunities.
Enjoy.
All right.
Testing.
Hello?
All right, so we'll call the number and then we'll talk about what it is. 6623, last four.
Here we go, kind of there in the middle. All right.
So all I know is it's a bigger Android tablet than the previous one. But a Lenovo Android tablet.
My name is Caleb McJunkins. I'm with Southside B Branch, and I'm here to learn a little more about coding.
Coding is awesome.
All right, this is the last one, right? All right, we've got a hoodie and a beanie cap from Rev Unit, as well as a fat coffee gift certificate, because you need a lot of caffeine when you're going to go into programming. Last four numbers, 6635. All right.
Hey, Michael, while she's coming out, can you talk a little bit about your shoes? Those are sweet shoes.
Hi, I'm Tion Sanders from Springdale High School. I came here to know what I can do in my career of IT in the future.
All right, so with all the fun we're having, we're gonna have one more question back there in the back.
Okay, so what are your guys' everyday lives like? Are you busy all the time? Do you have a bunch of free time? Like, what do you guys do?
Oh, I love that question. So this is a big thing from last night too. So real briefly, wake up about 5:30 every day. Try to get to the office by 6:30 so that I'm the first one there. And everybody knows that we're putting our time in as owners, right? My partner and I. Usually from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, that's the best time of the day to actually plow through some emails, get caught up on what's going on, try to get ahead of the day a little bit. And then for the rest of the day as a business owner, I may be raising capital, I may be talking to a new client, I may be dealing with a problem that's cropped up in the process, may have another 2 or 3 hours a day where we'll work on things that are strategic that we want to do, that are roadmap and sort of how that's progressing. And then typically by middle of the afternoon, then we're going back into actually executing some of the strategies and plans and that sort of thing. Try to get back home by 7 o'clock at night and grind out, see my kids, put them in bed and start it all over again the next day. So it's a real mixed bag in my world as a business owner.
So I guess I'll chime in a little bit. And just to kind of put it out there, so I'm on call 24/7. Never know when the next call is going to come in. And that's just part of the life, okay? But the other thing about day-to-day, what I love about my job is no matter how much I plan what I'm going to do the next day, it's never what I wind up doing. And so you're always going to do something different. But the other thing about it's been nice about the technology is I think we now have the opportunity that we can try to have some of that work-life balance, because there are times that I'll work or do emails instead of going out to dinner with a bunch of friends. And the next day I can leave early and try to go see my son before he gets to bed. So it's just one of those things that there's a balance there. There's a lot of hard work, but with the technology that we have out there, it's easier to keep that balance than it used to be. But what I love about it is just it's never the same thing day to day.
So very, very similar. My day might look very different. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I have a team of about over 100 people, and they're scattered throughout the globe, actually. If you're on my team and you're a data scientist, your day-to-day life is going to be partially working, at your workstation, wherever that is. It could be in your home, it could be in our office, in the Horseshoe, or it could be, anywhere else where you can be private, right? Keep that private, and you're coding because you need quiet time to think and work. Another thing that you're going to be doing regularly is meeting with your team. You're on a Scrum team. You've got a responsibility to deliver your cycle of code. We deploy on a regular basis. Some teams deploy daily. Our teams happen to take a little bit longer to deploy because of the work that we do. It could be every 2 to 3 weeks. So that is what your day-to-day life is like. Partially, head down, and partially working with your team. Working in collaboration, that team means working in collaboration with the business as well, because you're constantly solving the problems that the business is prioritizing that you're going to be working on to deliver. Fast forward 15, 20 years, and when you're in a role like mine, I'm not heads down coding every day. With that group of people, I have a lot of direct reports, and they have a lot of direct reports. So my day-to-day life is meeting with my team, encouraging my team, helping build the capabilities of my team, delivering strategy in terms of changing the ways of working within my team, working with my business partners to actually inspire them to use technology in a very different way, and encouraging them to do so. Working with my own leadership to help them even understand how data science and artificial intelligence and machine learning can help solve even technology problems, because not even all of technology understands the problems that machine learning and AI can do. So it's really working with people, influencing them and inspiring them to use technology in a different way.
All right, I think we've got time. We have our one last question here. I know this is the bad thing about the 1 hour is all we have. We have these wonderful people. I've got a mic right here, and then we'll have a lot of extra time afterwards. Okay, so let's go ahead and go right here.
So, like, my question is more like for everybody. If you can, like, go back to change something, like a decision that you made, what would it be to, like, make the career what you have now a better career?
I'm living the dream. I don't think you live with regrets, right? I mean, some of the best things that have happened in my career have been setbacks. You learn immensely from those things, right? And you evolve from that. So certainly there's hard times. People talk about hard times, but that's what forges your character, right? That's what makes you fantastic. And if your job's easy, you're not challenging yourself. And if you don't fail, then you really didn't stretch as much as you could have stretched. So I think failing is something you shouldn't be afraid of, right? I've kept, for my kids, I've shown them. There was one university that I applied to that didn't take me in, and I have a pile of ding letters, because when you graduate from college or high school, when you go out, you may not get hired everywhere you go, but you aspire, right? And so as you aspire, you may find that not everybody takes you, but some people may regret someday that they didn't take you.
So I echo that, and I said from an overall standpoint, I agree. There's no one thing I would go back and alter where I don't, I am where I want to be right now. But I will say that when I first started in the workforce, I had some unfortunate encounters at times that I would probably go back and do differently. I can be very passionate, and I often didn't choose my words as well as I could have. I don't think that in the long run it made a lot of difference. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it altered my career path. But I do think that in the moment I could have been more attuned to other people's feelings, or been more aware of the moment. And I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there are times I would go back and say, yeah, I probably wouldn't have said that. But but you learn from it. So
I would second that. Palladino would probably second that. We used to work together. So I mean, being a developer, being an engineer, there's a certain way you think, which also means there's a certain way you communicate. It's typically not how other people in the business communicate. So that can lead to frustration on both sides. So you guys are young, the world's kind of changing, the workforce is changing, companies are having to change what they do, how they do it to employ, the future generations. What I encourage you is, like, if you're gonna be a coder, if you're gonna go hardcore engineering, start developing soft skills now. Go talk to people you wouldn't normally talk to. You might take personality assessments, be like, okay, for a long time as engineers, like, if you weren't incredibly detailed and articulate, it's like, well, you can't code. Well, that's not true. So, I mean, there's different things to look at. So, I'd say just try to open up your mind, interacting with people, if you're gonna go hardcore technical, and try to learn other personality types and how those people think and how you could communicate with them more effectively.
So just take this away. Okay? And neither of these things are for me. These are things that really smart people said. Bill Gates said that success is the worst teacher that exists. It teaches you nothing, really. It just makes you think that you're smart when you're probably not. And somebody else said, if you're proud of your first release, your first code release, then you waited too long. You all need to understand now that you are not going to be successful if you are afraid to fail, or if you view failure as failure. It's only failure if you just quit. Otherwise, it's just a next step in the road that you're going to go down. So when you ask us, will we go back and change anything? First of all, everybody on the stage except for me is wildly successful. So why would you change that? And secondly, you can't live life like that, right? So don't think of, I would encourage you not to even think about life in those terms of like, well, I don't want to do something I'm going to regret later. Go do 100 things you're going to regret later. And I'm talking about in, Talking about in a professional and coding sense, right? But seriously, don't think about what am I going to regret it later, because you're not. You're going to learn from it. You're going to grow from it. You're going to keep jumping.
All right, so our time is up. So what I really want to do, guys, is I want to say thank you. Okay, there are a lot of people that we need to say thank you to. First of all, thank you to you all for coming. I mean, I know you got out of school, so brilliant, but thank you guys for coming. We definitely want to thank all of our volunteers, from everybody who's out serving you pizza, handing you raffle tickets, these guys that were walking around handing out microphones. So I want to thank our volunteers. We definitely want to thank our board members right here, our executives. Go ahead and give them, didn't they have some great answers? Right, they had some amazing answers. So thank you guys so much for providing all that insight. And the one other people that we definitely need to thank, especially because we have high school students here. Who do we really need to thank, guys? Our teachers. So where are our teachers? And teachers, we really do want to thank you. We have some gifts up here for you. Thank you guys so much for bringing your students and for being and getting them involved in IT on a day-to-day basis. So thank you so much. So before you leave, come see me up here, okay? All right. Other than that, thank you guys so much for attending. Be safe on your way out of here and have a wonderful day.